good afternoon, or grand rising, wherever you are. I'm not going to be on here long, but it's something I want to just get off my chest. Something that came to me when I was coming from the store, grocery store. Um, and I'm going to show you something today. So before I start, I want to give thanks to the primordial great mother, the primordial cosmic great mother herself. Many of her call her Big Mama. Some of them call her many other names that she had. It's 10,000 names, 10,000 titles. Some may call her Mommy Water. Some people may call her Tiamat. Some people may call her um, Yamoja. Some people may call her um, Kwa Yin. Some people may call her Aset. But I want to go ahead and do this live real quick, and I'm not going to be on here long. So there's things that I was when I that came across me when I came from the grocery store, and I was playing some music. I don't own the rights to this music that I'm about to play. Um, so I'm only gonna play the instrumental, and I normally don't do this, but I gotta get this stuff from from my mind to you once I play it. So I'm not copying off of nobody. I'm not doing anything like that. But I'm gonna play this. I have to play this instrumental because it's in my head, and it was touching me up in here. Okay, the whole thing was just bothering me in my mind, and I was like, I gotta go ahead home. I wasn't even going to do the live that I had planned today. I was going to reschedule it because I've been under the weather, but I have to like really get this out. Okay. So we want to go ahead and start with the prayer. I want to give thanks to the primordial mother. I want to give thanks to all of the ancestral spirits of creation. I want to give thanks to all all of the angels, archangels, ancestors. We come to your throne, primordial mother, for guidance, protection. We ask of you to always look over us with your divine love. For we know who you are. They never acknowledge you, but we acknowledge you here. And we come to you to ask for help and love and your divine guidance. Because it was you that created the light, and light came from you. And without you, there would not be no light. So we come and say, we love you, we appreciate you. Protect us from those that are claiming to be spiritual people or spiritualists that are wolves in sheep's clothing. Protect us from those that claim to be for the chosen and they're not for your chosen. Please, we ask you to please protect us and to give us the power of discernment to be able to tell who are the wolves amongst the sheep. And on that note, Ashe, Ashe, Ayi, Abobo. Peace. How y'all doing? All right. So I see a lot of stuff on the internet about people saying, you know, stuff about the witches and warlocks, all this like, yeah, hey, peace, how everybody doing? Peace. How you doing? This that Oscar, how you doing? So everybody, how y'all doing? So, I hear people talk about on the internet about this whole witches and warlocks thing. But did y'all know that the powers that be took a lot of people that practice that and they have them practicing things behind the scenes? And what if I tell you that this whole thing has been a joke? What do I mean? What if I tell you that everything that they had put in front of us was a lie? What if I tell you that they put religion to keep us at bay and to keep us submissive? What if I tell you that they use that to control the masses? What if I say to you, they knew they did this and this whole thing was a plot to become submissive? How you doing, peace? To become submissive. What if I tell you they created these religions to keep you from your full potential of being who you really are? What if I tell you that they have their hands on on pamphlets and handbooks of ancient spiritual practices that was practiced by people that look like yours truly? What if I tell you that they capture people that actually practice what you call witchcraft, and they have them practicing stuff just to see how powerful it is and how potent it is? What if I tell you this whole time that there's been a war going on, and y'all call it spiritual warfare, which it really is, whereas those that are against nature, that are connected to the planet, and those that are against, those that are trying to protect the planet, and those that are highly spiritual and evolving on a daily basis? What if I tell you all of this was created to become an illusion, to bring forth confusion? I'm talking about, I'm about to get to the point where I'm about to get to. Just bear with me. Everything that they have put on us has been a lie. Religion, the stuff you see on television, even down to the whole hating, racism, all that, all the stuff, fascism, everything is just an illusion of control. What if I tell you that there's a book called The Prince by Machiavelli, that you can learn what they're doing out here with that particular book? What if I tell you that the book called The 48 Laws of Power is what they're using? That's why they did not want Robert Greene to write that book. What if I tell you that the book called The Kabbalion holds a lot of key components in what you need to know about spirituality and so on, about the primordial mother? What if I tell you that they didn't want you to reach your full potential, because once you start thinking outside the box, then you start getting really in tune with nature and also with yourself. Because when you don't have that religion or religion, peace, how you doing? If you don't have that religion, and you start looking within and start realizing that you're a spiritual being without religion, then you start going through DNA explosions. Please, what if I tell you if that they always wanted to stop the ones that was going to wake up, because they already have your documentation, which is you call the birth certificate, which had the time you were born, and they already know who the chosen really are. They have the highest astrologers, astronomers, and so on that study you, and they bring people in your way to bring a hindrance to your path. What if this was all written? Without religion, God could not make us. Exactly. There would be peace in the world because everybody would be like on their own path and their own journey. Religion was forced upon us. But see, this is the thing. A lot of these religions came from ancient Mesopotamian teachings, or stories and other stories. This is what they don't want to tell you. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. See, this is why I came on here, because I was doing research since I've been under the weather, still is, but something told me to come on here and say certain things, and I'm not done at all. There's this particular being right now that come to mind. Give me a second. I'm gonna put down that name. Give me a second. This name stands out. Exactly, you're right. You see this name? You see the Anunnaki, but you see that name Nusku? Nufsku, right? Nusku is another name, but I'm trying to see if they're gonna show it. All right. Who is I'm gonna type in who is Nusku. Give me a second. Because I want y'all to see who this is. Because they're not trying to let me. Who is Nusku? Because I typed it on my phone. Look at that. This is who Nusku is. Right? What if I tell you that North School was a name of another name of an archangel named Jabril. Right here. What if I tell you that? Okay. They they use ancient Mesopotamian theology to put into what you call Christianity, all these main three religions. And if you don't believe me, they have everything hidden for a reason, to keep you tied in. What if I tell you that a lot of those ancient Mesopotamian deities are connected to ancient deities that were practiced amongst the melanated people? They all have a certain connection, a certain parallel. What if I tell you the whole time that the powers that be been using witchcraft on you because they didn't want you to wake up? What if I tell you that they know who you are by your birth date, your date of birth, your your birth certificate, but they don't want you to wake up to your full potential because that you might be someone special, far as above here, which is your crown? What would you say? How would you feel if I told you the whole time that you are a manifestation of the divine living in human flesh, that's experiencing to be human? But they use religion and all these tools to keep you trapped. What if I tell you that the same people that you call the N-word, ninjas, and all that other stuff were the ones to hold a lot of the keys to wake up the whole human race? But they've been put to sleep because they don't want y'all, they don't want you to, they don't want them to wake everybody up in the human race because they know their full potential. What if I tell you everything that's going on is dealing with those same people who have a direct link to the indigenous people in this country, who also have a direct link to the ancient Kemetic people who you call Egyptians, the ancient ones? What if I tell you that some of them carry the DNA, the DNA of Tiamat, which you call planet Earth, which you also call Gaia? What if I tell you that the whole time this whole thing has been warfare to stop the reawakening of the ones that are supposed to help out the whole human race the whole entire time? And they're using every ritual that they learned from these ancient ones, because once they took what they needed to take from them, they used it against them to put them to sleep. What if I tell you those same people that get ridiculed, that look like yours truly, are the ones that get the downloads, that also have been teaching people all across the globe the whole entire time, that's been inspirational to everybody on this planet? This is not no race thing, but I'm just putting truth out there. What if I tell you how everything that been created on a spiritual level was created by those same people, but they came from different texts, different people that practice certain things that were similar, that were parallel, but then they tried to and pretty much put it in different bits and pieces in different religions, and have you thinking that that religion is better, that religion is better, this is the right true religion. In actuality, it's just bits and pieces. What if I tell you the whole entire time that this has been warfare amongst the people that get the least credit, that many people emulate, duplicate, and imitate, but are not the original? What if I tell you that this whole time they have pretty much disintegrated everything because they did not want the people on the planet to know who is who? What if I tell you all this stuff about witches and warlocks? Guess what? It's been going on for eons. Why do you think they snatched the people that was practicing that? Why do you think they've been practicing with people that practice those type of practices? Don't y'all know that they literally snatched them and had them open up portals to bring forth lower dimensional beings? Did y'all know that? Did you know where they learned it from? They learned it from people that look like yours truly. Because a lot of them were held against their own will. A lot of them was turned on by their own creation. And you say, who is their creation? We're going to talk about that in another another subject, another topic, another live. Because there's a lot of mixing, a lot of things going on, but they don't want to talk about it. So what they do, they bring forth illusions of different wars, celebrities, and all this mischief bullshit that don't make any sense to us. Why do you think they got the masses by the neck? You have your celebrities, your politicians. You got to remember, politics is another name for politricks, or if you really listen carefully, politics. What does a tick do? And this poly is mean more than one, right? And you have ticks. What do ticks do? They suck what? Blood, life source, plasma, don't they? They latch on and they try to drain you. We got to start paying attention to it. Why do you think they have all these different celebrities? A lot of them don't even look like themselves anymore. Don't y'all know what really goes on behind the scenes with that? There was a guy that did a video years and years ago. I think his name was James Todd. Look him up. Let me tell you, this stuff been going on for a long ass time. You got people here, oh yeah, that witchcraft. And they be making these predictions saying, oh, this is what's going to happen, or they wish death on people, which is another form of witchcraft. Did y'all know that? Y'all got all these people, a lot of people on here YouTube that say this stuff over and over again. I predict there's going to be catastrophes. There's going to be deaths. Don't you know when you predict and wish death on people, that's witchcraft? So you got a lot of people that be practicing witchcraft and don't even realize it. Numerology is another tool, but you know what? That's beyond the point that I'm saying. Numerology is also connected to this. No, it's not. What is it? What is it called? Geometry. It is called gematria, something like that. That's also a part of it. That's dealing with numerology. They make everything seem evil, but they practice it. And guess what? Who started it? The people that look like. And they stole it to use it for negative ways and purposes. I told y'all there's going to be a final showdown coming. And it is. I found the video. I'm seeing if I can find it. There was a sister on Instagram that literally said, don't y'all know that the place in DC, they all practice into what you call witchcraft. Don't you know that it can be used for good and bad? It's about the person, the practitioner. It's about the practitioner. It's not about the practice. It's about the practitioner that's using it. You got pros, cons. Hell, don't you know in religion, you got people that say in the blood of Jesus. Don't you know that's another form of witchcraft? I am baptized in the blood of Jesus. That is a form of witchcraft. That's a spell. You're using somebody's blood and putting it on you to protect you. Make you think, don't it? What if I tell you that the whole story of Yahshua or Jesus come from, you can get a book called The 16 Crucified Saviors Before Christ. What if I tell you to read that book? Out of 7 of those crucified saviors, there are what you call black deities or melanated deities, 7 of them. Y'all ever heard how the way J. Edgar Hoover literally, and to come back from something to break that down, there you go, necromancy, thank you. See, nobody not thinking about this. The whole time, the war that y'all talking about, the spiritual warfare, are against those that's going to be involved in these practices, against the ones that's trying to destroy the planet, that are pretty much not human. And those that's trying to protect the planet, which is their higher self, is not human either. The physical body is what you call a vessel. And I don't feel well, but I had to come on here and just say this because this has been bothering me. And I said I was going to play this song. I'm going to play the instrumental to it. And like I said, I don't own the rights, but something just kept on. I was listening to the beat, and it was, my children like the beat because I know what it is, and I don't own the rights to it, but I have to play it because it's been on my mind. So give me a second, because it's really fucking with me, because the real war is not what people think it is. What if I tell you also that the Archangel Michael went by the name of Murdoch or Marduk? That is the one that slayed the dragon, but the dragon didn't get slayed. Why do you think they have images of Michael putting his foot on a dragon type being, but y'all don't even know who the dragon is, do y'all? That's Tiamat. This is something that people don't know, because y'all got to remember, Tiamat dealt with chaos, and when Marduk, or if you want to say Michael, came in to bring order. All right, let me see something. This is something that just hit me hard when I was walking. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But what if I tell you that the chaos is needed now more than anything, and it's happening? I showed y'all. No, it's just a whole lot. So I'm about to play this instrumental right quick because it's on my mind. Digging into the green. Y'all hear that instrumental? It's. I want y'all to see. I want to show y'all something. Look at the front. Look at the front cover. This is the instrumental. Look at the front cover. Some of those people that practice religion, oh, that's demonic. No, it's not. The skull played a real important purpose in our practices. And if you listen to the song, you listen to the chant, that's something that goes back into our practice. Now, I've been really been sitting back while I've been not feeling well with my children. And it made so much sense because when I went to the grocery store and came back, the message that I received was this: all of those that are for righteousness, that are for finally doing what they came here to do, those that heard the call, the saying goes, many are called, but a few that are chosen. Those that heard the call It's your time. It's your time. It's your time. A lot of you been seeing people on YouTube saying that they chosen this and chosen that. I have a question for those that say that. Who the hell made you call yourself chosen? Last time I checked, you don't need to say that you're chosen on YouTube or social media. The real chosen go through shit every day. They get attacked every day, all the time. You name the time, you name the place, it happens to them. The real chosen ones don't need to sit that they're chosen on YouTube. The chosen ones, honestly, they know who Tiamat is. They know about the primordial mother. They know who she is. They also know that she's a melanated woman, or may I say being. That's why they call her the great black mama of creation, the mother of the cosmos, that also created this planet too. Them created all these dimensions. The story goes that they say that she had daughters, but she also had sons. A lot of times her sons don't get the recognition. You have so many people on this daggone platform that always mention the daughters, but never mention the sons. I know you're like, well, where are you going at with all this? I'm gonna tell you where I'm going at with all of this. In order to bring balance, we got to eliminate the real ones from the fake ones. A lot of y'all saying that y'all chosen. How the hell are you chosen when you try to belittle stuff like I'm talking about? From the necromancy that the sister awakening empress talking about, from all these ancient arts that we did, you call it witchcraft, you call it evil, but yet you always try to say all praises the Most High. Don't even know that the Most High is actually feminine. You let the people that's in power tell you that she is a he. Then turn around and say you baptize yourself in the name of the blood of Jesus and all this other stuff. Then you turn around and say that you are an earth angel, all this other, y'all saying all this kind of shit and stuff like that. Excuse me, y'all, for saying that. But my whole thing is this. The real star children, they go through a lot of HELL since the day they were born, but they also had gifts beyond measure. Some of them were born with gifts of sight. Some of them could see things before it happened, which is a part of that. Some people had what you call telepathy. Some of us, or some of them, were born with the gift of air bending, hydro bending, air bending, hydro bending. Hydro is actually bending fire. Some of them astral travel at will. Some of them seen the lower regions of the dimensions. Some seen things that they would not even want to talk to people about. But don't y'all know that some of those people been taken away too, and being studied and analyzed on? But you got people on here. That's okay. That's all right. Don't you know that they don't want you to know this message? But I'm only on here to get this message out. I don't care who disagree, agree. I don't give a damn. I don't care no more. We don't care no more. Put it like that. Truth is, when you heard the call, it's time for you to go back to your ancient ways. And I'm not just talking about the melanated man and woman, but they the base of all of it, though. I need you to know they are the base of all of it, though. Because if it didn't come from her, then him, Then who the hell it came from? The source, right? Who is what? The divine cosmic mother. But you need to know these stories, though, from the Mesopotamian dealing with the Anunnaki, from also these other religions that came from out of that. Those that practice Yoruba, y'all should know what time it is. Y'all that practice voodoo, y'all should know what time it is. The whole time they've been fucking around with these practices and fucking with everybody else, and all everybody can do is say, "What the hell?" And you got these people on these YouTube streets saying, "That's witchcraft, that's witchcraft," but y'all the same mofo's, the same ones that'll say you'll put yourself and you say the name, you say things to protect you in the name of Jesus and all this other stuff. Why? I'll tell you why. The guys that be on the podium, the women that be on the podium, that are actually paid by their congregation, especially those mega churches. Don't you know that those churches are 501c3s owned by Rome? You got these people that call themselves prophetesses and prophets, whatever, prophetesses and prophets and shit. I came across a couple of them, and they tried to give me a vision that they saw, and the shit wasn't even real. They have their people that practice this. They have their own little prophecies and whatever they want to call it. Yeah. Exactly. This is why the confusion is mispractice. Exactly. I'm tired of people just making it seem like people like us don't know what the hell we talking about. Is there a creator? Oh yeah, there is. But these religions turned her into a he. There's ancient Egyptian or Kemetic text that said that Amun-Ra realized that he wasn't the real God, that it was his mother. Those that study the Metu Neter, the word Metu means mother. Nature means Neter. Or the word Neter means nature. You know how people say that the Egyptians worship many gods? Exactly, it is disrespect. You know how they say Egyptians worship many gods? No, they didn't. Those different deities were aspects of nature and aspects of the divine. Don't you think that's where they get the angels from? Think about it. That's where they get the angels from. Because each angel is an attribute of the divine in these religions. Think about it. A lot of the archangels have the last name Il or El. Gabriel, Michael, or Il. Haniel, what is it called? Haniel, or whatever. Haniel, and you have then you also have it's another one. I can't remember all of them, but you get the point. All of them end with the name El in those particular religions. Mainly the three main ones: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. What if I told you that all three of those religions were created from people that look like this? And they put their own little spin on it, though. If I tell you that, why do you think each one of them have a mystical order or a mystical teaching to it? I told you that before, right? Christianity, Gnosticism. Islam, Sufism. Judaism, the Kabbalah. But can I tell you something? A little secret. The word Kabbalah had the name Allah in it. Did anybody ever notice that? Allah, real name is Alet. That's also in the book called The Great Black Mama of Creation. Alet is one of her names. Why do you think in Islam they have the moon, the half moon, and the star? That's feminine forces, feminine energy. If y'all don't believe me, the moon is feminine. It controls what? The water. It's connected to the womb. The whole time you've been practicing witchcraft and didn't even know it. And these religions are teaching you to do it. Don't you know when you're praying 5 times a day, that's a ritual or a rite? If you don't know what a ritual or rite is, that's what people that practice magic do. They do an everyday routine, everyday ritual. Oh, he's using blasphemy against other religions. No, I'm not. What if I tell you that those that pray 5 times a day as Muslims? What if I tell you that there's Babalaos and female? I forgot what they call the female Babalaos that prayed like that, and it came from over. It came from our stuff. What if I tell you that if you take all of the traditions from Islam, you have Christianity? Because what they don't tell you is that Muhammad's first wife, Khadijah, was Christian. Shout out to Dr. Malachi York and the New Wapians for all this information that I'm sharing with y'all. What if I tell you that? Exactly. What if I tell you the whole time that in these religions you're practicing what you call witchcraft? They just put their little spin on it. The whole time you're trying to tap in the Most High, right? The Most High is the crown. Why do you think you hear people say, God talked to me today and told me to tell you this? Because it's dealing with the crown. Your crown is the antenna to the cosmos. It's a direct transmitter to the divine. Maybe I'm just talking. But the whole thing that y'all need to know, that this whole warfare that they're trying to push, it's the warfare against those that are spiritually and that's highly spiritual, know what's going on. And realize that the people that's been in power the whole time has been practicing these ancient practices that was our shit. They took it, made handbooks out of it, opening up portals that they're not supposed to open up. There's a brother that was unalive a long time ago. This brother, I forgot his name, but I'm gonna try to remember his name. And another live that I do, I'm gonna try to put his name up if I can remember. They got the whole document, the whole story of Doctor Strange from this brother that was a master occultist. They got this. They made the whole black man that was a master occultist. Okay, that was a so-called master occultist. He was he was a master occultist. This so-called black man was a master occultist, and that's where they got the whole Doctor Strange information from, Marvel character from. They don't want to tell you this, and I got that from a sister from TikTok or on TikTok. I was like, hold up, and I looked it up, and it was like, yep. I was like, oh shit, it is true. So, also, you got people on here that's saying witchcraft is and all this stuff against it. But can I tell you something? A lot of time when people say they're against that shit, they're actually practicing that shit. I want to put that out there. A lot of people that be against it be ones that be practicing it behind closed doors. They don't want to tell you. Because you got to remember, people do this stuff for likes and all this other shit. That's why I give the shout out to the real ones. You know what I'm saying? That do the work. Like the black witch yayas, like the sisters, like that really do the work on spiritual levels. Like the real Kayas, the black conjurings, the brother Josephs, and all of them, the Bobby Hemmets. They really did the work. And you got people that'll say so much shit, but turn around, they do it themselves. They don't tell you that. But hey, who am I to say anything? Who am I to say anything, right? I had to turn it off for a minute. Who am I to say anything? It really eats me up when I see how people act and they talk it all this gibberish and nonsense, right? But yet nobody don't want to tell the truth about that because everybody trying to get a following. All these people want to be leaders, but they want to be chiefs, but they don't want to be, I hate to say the word Indian, but they want to be all these chiefs and shit, but don't know how to lead the way. And that shit really frustrates the fuck out of me. And I hate to be, cussing, not cursing, but cussing. Because when people don't realize the difference between the two. But I'm really at the point where I look how people are, and a lot of a lot of the hypocritical tactics that's being used. This is not for likes and views. This is need to be said because it's too many on social media today that attack people but don't know because of their sheer ignorance. Where you need to understand what's really happening. Like my godmother said, that witchcraft is a practice, it's a craft. But it stemmed from something ancient from that. That's a watered down version of the original. See, there's so many that don't understand what is happening. And I tell you, the war is for your mind. The war is for your minds. It's about gathering the minds and gathering and confusing the masses. It's also about control. So shout out to Dr. Samuel B. Lee because he spoke on something in one of his videos. I don't know if he said Iran or Iraq. One of them have a Stargate. I forgot what number Stargate it is. But he also did a video stating if they actually have their hands on all 12 Stargates, they can control everything pretty much. Just to paraphrase what he said. Those 12 Stargates are connected to your 12 the 12 DNA strands. And you got to ask yourself a question. How can they close or open the Stargates? Magic, rites, ritual. See, nobody not thinking. But I ain't going to say too much. Just let y'all think. They playing people and have all these daggone people, all praises. You know, come on, man. A lot of y'all cats are plants. And y'all don't want people to wake up and realize what's really going on. You can't talk about raising vibrations and frequencies and don't know how to raise them. The real ones that we watch, they know how to raise them. You can't be regurgitating information. You can't be doing none of that. You got to know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. And you're doing it. The best of your ability. Let me tell you, I didn't seen people talk about, oh, you got to look good to deliver the message. You know, us chosen got to look good all the time because that's how you know you God's chosen. The appearance of a person does not mean that you're part of the chosen, and an appearance of the person does not mean that you're giving out the right message. Because looks are deceiving. You never attack the messenger. You listen to the message and take heed to it. Those that think looks are from the divine and think that you got to look good to be a chosen, you got this whole thing like fucked up, put like that. What's the word can I use for this? You got everything so mixed up and messed up that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You see, I'm not throwing shots. I'm just being real about everything. You could talk all day. But if they have a message, you better listen to it. You better pay attention to it. I done came across people that had nowhere to go, and I'll sit down and they'll talk to me about something that's mind-boggling, dealing with life. And next thing you know, I tell them thank you. The following day, when I know where they hang out at, they not there no more. You know how they say messages come, and you do have beings that do come give you messages. People fail to realize that our ancestors or our ancestral spirits, they can incarnate in human bodies too. Where do you think they get that from in the world of these religions? They get it from our practices, our ancient practices. That's where they get it from. The whole be careful who you entertain because you don't know who you're entertaining. That came from our stuff. There's stories how a lot of men and women gave an offering to an ancestral spirit and they'll come to them. Or they might come to them in person. They'll come to them. Sometimes they'll come to you in person, dressed up as a person that you never saw before, and they'll just talk to you, that you know they watching you. They got you. If you're doing the right thing, not if you're doing the wrong thing. See, we got to keep our minds and ears, our eyes and ears open on this stuff because you got too many people that'll just talk this and talk that, but don't know anything because they don't know jack. Half the time, these people want to hear themselves talk. Half the time, they don't talk with real passion. They don't even know how to talk with compassion. Instead, they look at you to find out what is your reaction. I be watching a lot of people just to see how they interact with those that's on their channel and all this. And I tell everybody, this is not my channel. This is our channel. I said this because we all need an outlet where you can be your goddamn self and not be judged for it. I know people that have 20 something thousand subscribers and stuff, and soon as they'll say witchcraft, you'll turn around and you'll give a leg with an offering. Yeah, I'm throwing that shot. How are you going to go ahead talk about something being witchcraft, then you give a leg with an offering? You can't do that. You got too many people that do stuff like this. And you'll make fun of something, then you go ahead and turn around and you do it. Who does that? I bet. But it's like, who does that? You going to say it's witchcraft, then turn around, you give an offering to one of the ancestral spirits. You be like, but that's the hypocritical. That's the hypocritical stuff we're talking about, y'all. You can't say one thing and then do another. I to understand and overstand and understand and understand and understand the shit that these people be saying. That is true discernment when you start seeing what the person is saying is just hypocritical. You can't say all praises the Most High and the ancestors, then you turn around and say, oh, they practicing witchcraft. But isn't you praising and giving love to your ancestors is a form of witchcraft? In the eyes of those that are ignorant. But don't you realize that a lot of these churches, like I said, they're owned by Rome. What is called communion or something like that? When they give you a cracker and say this is the body of Christ, then they have you drink grape juice and say this is the blood of Christ. Isn't that a ritual? Isn't that a practice of cannibalism? See, we got to start waking up on some shit here, man. And all this stuff came to me when I was walking. And I said, you know what? I got to get this out because I don't know it was the divine mother that was saying it, but I had to get this shit out here. It had to come out because y'all want to know what the warfare is. The warfare is for your soul, for your mind, your soul, your vessel. So guess what? So when they use your vessel, they're going to put something in your vessel that you can't control. That's another reason why they give you vaccines. It's about a form of control. They know who the children are of the primordial mother because of your goddamn what? Your birth certificate. And all these people trying to do videos, yes, chosen, they're coming after you. You gotta protect yourself. Huh? Or we have to do things chosen so they won't come after us. This is not a game. This is real. You have people right now, children right now, this very second, they can see the ancestral spirits and don't know who to talk to. You have children that can literally see our ancestral spirits or deities walking around them and don't know who to talk to. Because a lot of us, or a lot of them, were born in families who don't know who they are and they forgot who they are. Many of the family members forgot who they were. Because of sheer what? Colonization, religion, being told that it was evil, being told that it was satanic. I showed y'all, esoterically, Satan means Saturn. Oh, we don't. Do y'all really want me to go there too? I'm talking about the ones that need to hear this shit. What is the word for Saturday in Creole? Or there's a certain Loa that represents Saturday too with the name. And my daughter says she know, but I don't think about that. Listen, Rome got everything in their hands from the what they call it, the Gregorian calendar, which we go by. Shout out to Life Have No Niche. That's just phenomenal. I will be on her channel soon. Shout out to her. She's got to name the day and the time that we're gonna I'm gonna be on there. She's also one of the mods on here. She's literally said on one of her videos that this Gregorian calendar is named after Roman gods. January is another name for the Roman god Janus. February named after another Roman god. I forgot that name. March, April, May, June. Don't y'all ever heard of the goddess named Juno? That's what June is named after. Look up Juno. They made a movie years ago with a girl that was called Juno in a movie. No problem. They made a movie called Juno back in the day. Let's go to July. July, that deals with Julius Caesar. August, Augustus Caesar. Okay? Let's go ahead and go into December because we just got, that was just a month ago, right? What particular time and day, or when I say ritual or rite, let's just say rite, is in December? Saturnalia. Saturnalia. The what? But Saturn's real name is Kronos. Kronos. That's one of the many names of Saturn is Kronos. And Kronos in certain pictures or depictions have horns. What zodiac sign starts in Saturnalia? Capricorn, the sea goat. You see see how they got everybody with that shit? They just fucked everybody heads up with that shit. And the goat have horns. And the goat is closely related to what? The ram. They in the same what? They in the same family tree. But can I tell you another secret though? You have Capricorn, which is the sea goat, and Aries, which is what? The ram. But can I tell you another thing? The ram in ancient Egypt was connected to Amen Ra. The great Amen was connected to the ram. The goat is connected to is dealing with this. I forgot the name of the one god. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna tell y'all again. But it's connected to the goat. But in certain goat is also connected to Set. Some people call Set Satuk. Here's the kicker. Some people say Set is another name for Saturn. What you say? Satan. It's an energy. Just saying that there's the stuff that we need to know that they keep on covering up. You got to dig. Let me tell you, one thing I can say, they make sure those religions put people to sleep to reach their full, so they can not reach their full potential. Each one of these religions became a patriarch religion where they kept the woman from reaching her full potential to find out her power. But mainly the melanated woman. There was a video that I saw. I think it was Brother Conscious G. Shout out to you, bro. He showed a video of a sister. Of these people. And it was this person asking about, do you believe in Jesus Christ? He asked all these Caucasian people, do you believe in Jesus Christ? You know, all of them said, get out of here, damn near, or no, they don't. Can you believe they all said that? Damn near in the video, they said, no, we don't believe in that. It was one so-called black woman. And he said, you believe in Jesus Christ? He's going to say yes, or something like that. Amen, or something like that. All the time, or something she said, something like that. And he said, see, the brainwashing right there. I'm just saying what I saw. Oh yeah, Baphomet, that's also connected to Saturn too. But can I tell y'all another secret about Baphomet? The Baphomet was the symbol for the Moors or the Murs. But they ain't gonna tell you that. They're gonna keep that quiet and on a hush. And who were the Murs? Us, the indigenous ones of this country. They ain't gonna tell you that though. They don't want you to know that. They'll use your symbol and say it's evil though. But that was your symbol. Bobby Hemmett spoke on that years and years. A book called African Origins of Freemasonry, where the guy said that the daggone Baphomet also symbolized I think the Moors and I think also Muhammad or something like that. I can't remember. But it's in that book too. It's a representation of our Ish. You gotta remember, Bobby Hemmett also spoke on the 3 6s. The 3 6s, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That is dealing with carbon. Carbon is what? Melanin. What if I tell y'all right now, in order for a lot of these people that have not that much melanin, that they need, and I want y'all to hear me on this, they would need somebody melanated to procreate with to keep their genes going. Because they know the power of melanin subconsciously. Remember, I showed you a video. I'll show it to you again, where this Albion woman said if she were in order for her to live and survive, she had to get with a melanated man. Listen, y'all. Don't come after the messenger. This is not dealing with race, but God damn it, you need to know the truth. And if you don't want the truth, you don't have to watch this channel. I'm trying to keep it 100 with everybody when he does watch.
100, Dad, 100.
I know I'm speaking in my little slang. Thank you very much. I know what 100 mean. 100. I know.
Yeah, but it sounds like unprofessional.
It sounds unprofessional. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
100. I keep it. I'm just keeping it to y'all 100.
Like, I know you could say unit.
So, but that's what I want to say. Think about it. They need you. Hell, listen. If y'all need the power of melanin seriously, if you know why there's a lot of missing so-called black children, black women missing, going missing every minute, every hour as we now speak on this channel, on this live right now. They're being snatched away right now. They're also in hospitals having their organs taken out and being sold on the black market. Melanin is worth more than gold. Last time I checked, 360 per gram. That's how much it goes for. $360 per gram. That's how much melanin is worth. More than gold. So all you that's bleaching your skin, all you that's bleaching your skin, don't you know that your melanin is directly connected to our ancestral spirits that people that don't look like you be praising to when they're practicing our practices? Don't you know that melanin is also in blood too? Why do you think a lot of them do the blood sacrifice? Because the melanin, come on now. The lack of melanin, you're going to have to do something to cover it up, right? To back it up even more, to make it more potent, don't you? This is stuff that y'all need to know. But, oh yeah, by the way, the ones that say, oh, this is witchcraft and all that, but you'll go ahead and eat a cracker, say that's the blood of Christ, and drink grape juice, say that's the blood of Jesus. I'll wait about that one. I'll wait about that. We'll let that one marinate a little bit and see how that feels and see how that go with where you go at with that. And don't realize you're practicing cannibalism. Why would you eat somebody's body and drink their blood? That's also vampiric if you want to really think about it. Drinking blood is vampiric. That's not in your DNA unless you have ancestors that were vampiric. But then you got to remember something though. It goes that goes back to an ancient Egyptian text about Setmek. Well, who is Setmek? You really want to know? Because I'm about to show you a little comparison too. Setmek means fire of Ra. There's an archangel with the same connection. Uriel, fire of ill. You see how the way they just take our ish and they put it in this religion right there? But let me go and tell you the story. The story goes that Amun Ra sent Setmek to go to war. I'm just paraphrasing it. When she went to war, she was fighting and she was pretty much brutalizing all these kings and all these people that were, that Ra wanted her to destroy. During that time, she was also she was also on a rampage. Now you gotta remember, she looked like a lioness, so she's really on her huntress and warlike ish. And Amin Ra realized that she was like really on a rampage, wilding out. So what he did, he made a river turn into the color of blood, and she drunk it. And that river turned that red substance that he put into the river that stuff was blood was actually wine. It was wine, not beer. It was wine. And then check out the story. And then when she started drinking the wine, she started becoming more peaceful, and then she transformed and guess into who? She transformed into none other than Hat Haru, who you call Hathor. True story. Look it up. So they got you practicing ish that came from a part of yo ish. That's one of those sides that they didn't want you to know, which means that they're practicing all this stuff that they got from your ancient ancestors. And most people like, man, they ain't my ancestors that did that. They ain't my ancestors. Can I tell you something? It's called duality, bringing forth balance. You gotta deal with the pros and the negative, or the pros and the cons. Balance it out. Accept it for what it is. Because also in that very Bible, it was a lot of people that was getting unalived and sacrificed too. But nobody don't want to talk about that. A lot of stuff that dealt with what? Y'all got to look at that. You got to look at the Bible carefully, because that Bible got a lot of crazy stories in it, even down to what they call it, um, 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 infidelity. Spells in that book. The whole book of Psalms is spells. Y'all better look into it. There's a book called there's a book called out right now called the spells. I think the spells of Psalms. Y'all better look it up. I ain't making up none of this stuff. You better look all this stuff up, man. I'm trying to share some information with y'all.
You said the spell of Psalms?
Psalms.
Psalms?
Yep. See, nobody don't want to talk about that. But I know somebody that's watching gonna get that book. Those that's been watching the channel, that been taking the information, they probably recommend that book on their channel. See, I come on here because, let me tell y'all something. I'm not on here to attack nobody's religion. I'm not here to do that. I just want to put down information that you can look up yourself and look it up. And all I want y'all to do is think independently and start waking up and realizing something not adding up. I do this because the love I have for people. I'm tired of seeing people being lied to. They don't want you to wake up, because the simple fact is they want to keep you asleep because of control. Like I said, Dr. Samuel Lee, he talked about all the 12 stargates. Those 12 stargates are connected to the 12 ethereal dragons. Those 12 stargates, the 12 DNA strands. Those 12 stargates are also connected to the chakras of Tiamat and also us. They're doing rituals, or what you call rites, to open and close these daggone stargates. I'm not making up none of this shit. All I'm here to do is let y'all know what the hell is going on. That final showdown, I keep telling y'all, who's it going to be? They don't want y'all to know. Some of us are going through hard times because of the simple fact is who we are. Some of us had people in our way that kept us away from going on our path. Those that are even older, keep in mind, it's never too late. All you got to do is just give your mind a clean slate and be like, you know what? I got to get this person or these persons out my way. Because they send people your way to get you caught up and trapped. Because they don't want you waking up. Archons. Archons are what they're called. Don't you know what archons really mean in translation? They're what you call the fallen ones. They're also your Agent Smiths in the Matrix. Look up Sophia and the Demiurge. Sophia is one of her names. I'm talking about the Cosmic Mother. That's one of her 10,000 names. It means wisdom, wise dome. I don't just say stuff to be saying it on YouTube. You can look up stuff that I'm saying and you be like, damn, how the hell this guy know? Being aligned with the right people. Research, but also being around the right people, praying. When I was 18 years old, I got on my knees and I said, I just want to know the truth. I can't, because I started seeing how my grandparents were with the religion. And I'm like, and I would sit, I went to church like probably twice in my life. That wasn't for me. Because I looked around and I remember I was 22 years old and I got baptized, right? And the pastor that baptized me, we went to a church, another church, and he had in his pocket a envelope with money to give another pastor so I can get baptized, y'all. And I never forgot that. I said, why the heck you got to pay this guy for me to get baptized. And ever since then, along with other things, I started looking at the mega churches. I started doing research. The churches are 501c3s. Y'all better check out y'all mosque and see if y'all mosques are 501c3s too, because y'all know that the that the Vatican also had their hands into Islam as well. Or don't y'all know that even the Vatican have a chance to get their hands into people that practice our spiritual practices too? That they try to hurry up and snatch them and try to have them do their rites or rites or rituals too. Did y'all know that? That's how potent it is. Listen, everything that is our ish, they know it is potent. Let me tell you a story. Several years ago, there's a place out here in Maryland or Baltimore. It used to be over East Baltimore, but they moved it to West Baltimore. It's called Sankofa. The name of the place is called Sankofa. There is this African sister married to a Caucasian man. I'll never forget, and I want y'all to pay attention to this shit right here. I go in there with one of my exes. We go there. The husband, they have like a little museum with our statues. Listen, they have statues of our deities inside their store. The daggone husband, Caucasian man, he know more about our story than all of us did. Even though we played dumb, we knew what he was talking about. This man literally said out his mouth, and I'm quoting his ass, and I want y'all to hear what he said. He said his ancestors was not even smart. He said, your ancestors were smarter than my ancestors. He said, your ancestors were so powerful that to a statue, and that statue would be activated. He said, my ancestors did all that they could to make it seem like your ancestors' practices was demonized and evil, just so they can use it. He said, from the paintings and everything, he said, my ancestors made sure they belittled yours to keep your ancestors from going into what is rightfully theirs. That part, I'm paraphrasing it. And also, my ancestors, what he said, kept everything that your ancestors did, and we labeled it demonic and evil. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, your ancestors were way better than mine. He said, your ancestors was highly intelligent, highly gifted in spiritual practices and so on. He said, we had the statues here because the statues can't be used anymore. They lost its power. He said, but your ancestors, they were so powerful, so intelligent. He like, anytime they can call a spirit into a statue and have it work. He said, my ancestors couldn't even do that. He said, but yours did. And yours did all of that. We already knew, me and Max already knew, we just played dumb the whole time. It's a shame. It's evil and demonic. It's not really evil or demonic. It's about the practitioner of it. But I'm going to tell you something. If you use it for negativity, that's against cosmic law. Shout out to Brother Larry King Bay for that. For looking that up and finding out that information. It's very true. You use it for evil, it's against cosmic law, which means it will come back and bite you in the ass. I mean, this is something that I was told to come on here and just share with y'all. Listen, if there was no religion, don't you think everybody would have been cool? Because a lot of this is dealing with control. It's about controlling the people, controlling the masses. You got people that'll read out of a book and tell you what and where is hell. Everybody know that these books were written by a man's hand. Make you think about that shit, don't it? First thing person say when I watch this video of they religious, oh, he using blasphemy. He using blasphemy. No, I'm not. I can show you how The word amen comes from what we call the sun, amen. When even down to Muslims, they say amen. That's amen. I'm gonna tell you another thing. You praying to the east. Guess what they pray. Guess what's over the east. Venus. All the Masons, y'all know what I mean. When you look to the east, you know what I'm talking about. All you Moors, you know what happened. You look to the east, what you see. Y'all know what the real bright morning star is. Is not the sun. Y'all know is Venus. But here's the kicker. I showed y'all on this daggone channel of ours what Venus name is in Judaic Christianity and Islam. Lucifer. Don't believe me? Look it up. Aphrodite is another name for Venus. Hathor or Hathor is another name for Venus. What about all these people? Let's go into the whole star seed information. Let's go into the star seed information. All you star seeds. But I got a bone to pick with I'm not picking, but I got a bone to pick with y'all right quick. All you so-called Palladians. Oh, I got something for you. I got all you Palladians that look like this. This is the thing that get me. The name Pallades is 7 stars, but one of the original names is the seven sisters of Hathor or Hathor. The original Palladians had a connection, a direct link to the Anunnaki. Those that call themselves Palladians today, that have blonde hair, blue eyes, come from the Ashtar Command. They hijacked the technology from those people that were on those beings that was on that constellation. And you gotta remember, they say that this is actually multi-dimensional too. But the thing that's so funny about that, the Ashtar Command hijacked and took the technology from those original Palladians that were melanated. They went into the Galactic Council and said that they were the Palladian gods. Did y'all know that story? So all you people that look like this saying that you're Palladian, you gotta do the research. Because last time I checked, they said the Palladians also had a real dark bluish hue, like the Avatar people. And they did. Some of them said they had blonde hair. Some of them said they had that, but they had that blue hue. Just saying. That's the bone I got to pick with y'all. How the hell you saying you're Palladian, but the original Palladians were a dark bluish, hueish color? That whole star seed was. I hope everybody know that. That was hijacked because melanated people was talking about stars and all that, because it goes back to our ancient practices. That's also connected to the Dogon tribe of Mali, the Yoruba, those brothers and sisters in the Caribbean that practice Obia, and also practice Santeria, Voodoo, Balomiombe. I could go on and on, because all is dealing with cosmic knowledge too. See, I'm not here to make anybody mad. I don't here to make anybody frustrated. I'm not picking. I'm not yelling. All I'm trying to do is really bring this shit out in the open now. Give credit where credit is mother freaking due, man. Because without us, there would not be y'all. Without us, you would be practicing what the hell y'all practicing. I know one thing for sure. Why do you think Sam Lee? Why do you think Sam Lee? He have a video on melanin. Don't believe me? Look it up. Cause he know where he get that information from. Cause everybody know that the Asians originated from melanated people. They know who melanated people are, but due to the ways of the West, colonization manipulated all of that. Colonization fucked up their own way of life too. But that also came from the dirty Moors. Just letting y'all know that too. Okay? See, this is the shit. Exactly, we blacks. This is the shit that a lot of people don't want to talk about. They want to look. Look, let me tell you something, right? I don't give a listen. I love the whole human race, but I got to be real about everything the fuck I say now. I can't just be talking, be knowing this, and then be like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna go ahead and keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna go ahead. I need more views. I want to get along with everybody. No, the truth gotta come out. Gotta come out now. That's one thing that need to be heard. And a lot of times I hear you love who you love and everything, but you better start using discernment because right now it's about survival. I told y'all we're in a sun cycle. Y'all better remember what happened over there in China when they was getting burnt to a crisp. You better look what's going over there in Japan. Why they calling for black men to come over there? Just saying. Y'all better pay attention why the Chinese is going over there in Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya and procreating with the women over there, leaving them babies over there without a father. You better start looking. I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I'm just throwing stuff out there so everybody can look it up themselves. Y'all better realize what cycle we in. Look, we call ourselves Asiatic for a reason because we are the original Asian people. That's why we call ourselves Asiatics. We are the only people that can procreate and create different races of people on this planet. Melanin is the key component to spiritual wisdom, cosmic wisdom, information, spiritual practices, all the above. Like I said, those that are fair-skinned, that practice our practices, that use it for the of negativity and evil, they needed to use blood because blood contains what? Melanin. Don't believe me? Look it up. Then you got people like talking about, well, what about the people that was in what they call that place, Bohemian Grove and all that? Look, a lot of those practices, they got it from the original people, man. Oh, you mean they were dealing with? Listen. Energy is energy. It depends on how you use that energy. Stop trying to label it because of these colonized forces or these colonized people that keep on trying to tell you it's evil. But can I tell you a little something? Them people that's in these daggone religions, the higher ups, are practicing your shit. Practicing your shit. And calling you stupid and everything and laughing at your ass. And you just like, well, I'm going to wait until the second coming get here. Any moment, when I die, I'm going to heaven. That's what it said in the Bible. Heaven is a mindset too, just like hell. I didn't say it's not no lower regions in the spirit realm. I never said that. So keep that in mind. I never said it wasn't. But however, when it comes down to the melanin is also connected to all 12 stargates, and the melanin is also connected to all chakras of the planet, also known as Tiamat. Did y'all even know that Tiamat name is synonymous and has a parallel connection to Mami Wata? Because in certain stories, Mami Wata is depicted as a serpent. What? She's also connected to the Kundalini energy too. Just saying. I do a lot of I took all this time when I'm still under the weather a little bit, but I said I had to do this live because I was listen. I was told to do this live. I didn't want to do it. Y'all see, I changed that love I was supposed to do tonight to another day, which is next Saturday, right? Y'all saw that shit, right? What you mean? How is your transition going? I'm trying to understand, Mr. Sean, what you're talking about. If you can break down what you mean, I'm trying to understand that. So yeah, like I tell you, man. Let me see. I don't even know if I sent a note to myself about Tiamat and Mommy Water being parallel along with Yemoja. I don't know. Oh, no problem. Just give me a second. I'm over here trying to remember something real quick. They don't want you to know none of this stuff, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. They want to keep y'all ass asleep, man. They want to keep y'all asleep. They don't want y'all to wake up for nothing. Like for real, they don't want you waking up for nothing. I mean, let me tell you, man. Cause I'm also I gotta get a new fez. Yo, you don't know what happened? I threw all my dag on my son and stuff away. Didn't even realize it, along with my fez. Cause I wanted to show y'all some shit, but I realized I threw it away at the last minute. I was like, damn, I threw it away. Like, oh damn. So, but let me see if I can find the stuff I was talking about for y'all. Cause y'all don't know. I've been on a. Oh, this is my daughter. I've been my email. I'm gonna finish y'all. Don't I got y'all. Just give me some time. I'm trying to get back on this daggone thing. Yeah, I'm talking to somebody. I didn't. I forgot you got on on my computer. You put your email on here. I got it. I got you. Stay right there. I'm on it. Our our transition to God energy is going great. Thank you for asking. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Like God dang. I mean, like we don't have time for we don't even know where he is going at with the transition. I'm like he still didn't answer. He still didn't answer. Like, what do you mean by transition? Let me see. All right, let me see if I can. I found the. I'm make it a little bit enlarged. Give me a second, y'all, because I done did some. I've been doing some research. All right, let me show you about Yemoja. Let me enlarge this a little bit. You see this? Look what they say about Yemoja, y'all. The mother of waters, womb of creation. You see that? You see that? Womb of creation. Womb of creation. This is crazy. Let me see I'm trying to remember what else I had on here. We're looking up Mommy Water real quick. Let me enlarge it. You see that? Spirit of the waters, mystery power. Look at it, depicted as a mermaid or serpent woman. See? Don't have to lie about nothing. Nothing. See, now, it's funny how they do all this and try to, belittle the serpent, but yet I told y'all, wouldn't we also consider serpents too? We was in the womb of our mom and all that, remember? We were what they call it, semen, like had to fertilize the egg that came from the ovary from our mom, and our mom and dad, they got together, and we here. But they didn't tell you how that spirit, how it enters the body of that child through the navel of the womb man, and then it goes to the ori during the time of the creating process of that child. Just saying. It's really interesting. Also, look at this. Look at this about Yemoja, y'all. Look at that. Let me see. This is the other part I wanted y'all to see. If I didn't show y'all that. The origin of the ocean, motherhood, ancestry, and the cosmic womb. You know what they call the womb? The cosmic womb? The Vistica Pisces. That's also connected to Tiamat, y'all. Look what it says right here at the bottom. She is the source, the deep salt water, the beginning of life, and the ancestral matrix. Mm. Mm. Ain't that about some stuff? So your little big brother been doing a lot of stuff while he been sick under the weather. That's why I said, I was going to show y'all that on the other live on Saturday, which I'm still going to show y'all that again, so y'all can do the research yourself. Because y'all know, try to come with the receipts so y'all can know. And I want to also touch something real quick. You got a lot of men in the community that try to do the whole polygamy thing, but they use it for the wrong reasons. I got to go into that real quick. A lot of you guys that be doing that polygamy for the wrong reasons, do you really know who really originated the whole polygamy thing? The whole polygamy thing was created by the original woman of the planet, the so-called black woman, the so-called melanated woman. She's the reason why that whole polygamy thing took place, because she wanted to create a sisterhood with other women and only be with one man with those sisters to help procreate life faster as well, and to build wealth, generational wealth, that is. Because you got to remember, in your very Bible, Solomon had 70 wives? Did you also know what that also meant during those time periods? If a man had more than one wife, that means he was powerful. Because you know why? The menstrual cycle of the woman. Each woman's menstrual cycle was different, and each of them react differently during that menstrual. You have to have the mental capacity to deal with all those emotions, mentally strong, to deal with the hormonal stages of a woman when she's on her menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is connected to the womb, also known to be the cosmic forces, was also connected to the moon. The moon is also connected to that menstrual, which controls the waters, which is the womb. So if a man had more than one wife, that was political power. A lot of you guys are using it for the wrong reasons, for lust. But it was the so-called black woman that started polygamy. You can find that in the book by Dr. Barashango called African People and European Holidays, A Mental Genocide. I think it was either book 1 or book 2. Shedding the Tears of the Moon. Is that a book? But I like what you said, though. I appreciate that, beloved. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's something I just wanted to let everybody to really start looking into, because there's a lot of stuff that you've been lying to us about. And for me to be so much under the weather, I guess this needed to come out tonight, which is a Monday. Guess what? Monday is Moon Day. Just thought about that.
It's spelling moon, but without the second O.
That's right. My daughter says spell Moon Day without it's just missing the second O. So we're actually talking on this live on a Moon Day.
And the moon is connected.
And the moon is connected to the womb. The what? The not just the woman, but the womb of creation, and also connected to mommy water as well. It's all connected. Everything is interconnected. So when I was told to do this live, she ain't want me to listen. She ain't want me to make no excuses. She said, "No, you're gonna do that live." She like move that other one to the next time. She's like, "You're gonna do this one right now." I am not trying to be disobedient, because I know once I'm being told something, I go ahead and say what I gotta say, because I know that the blessings are going to come off of that, because this need to be put out there. Yeah, I'm not no woman. I know I'm not a woman. I know I'm not. But I can tell you something that's real, though. During my times in traveling in Freemasonry, though, I became an Eastern Star. And one of the brothers who I still talk to this day, who was given this book called the Vistica Pisces, he kept on mentioning it to me over and over, like the Vistica Pisces, the Vistica Pisces. And one thing I realized, when I hear things more than once, that is the primordial creator, the primordial mother telling me something, and I'm like, let me look into this. So years later, I found out that Vistica Pisces is the womb of creation. Let me show y'all something. I showed y'all that Vistica. I might be spelling it wrong. Vistica Pisces. I might be spelling it wrong, but it's going to come out. Y'all probably seen this symbol before if they show it, but I want you to see something. And I don't like using Wikipedia. I really don't. But let's show you. Vistica Pisces. Look at this. So now that's how you know I'm telling the truth. They turn me off every time I try to show y'all something. That's how you know y'all brother telling the truth. Look at this. Look at this carefully. But I want to show it. Look. But look at something else though. You see that? In addition, Christian associates, the Vistica Pisces appear in various ancient cultures, symbolizing procreation, renewal of life, the balance of dualities. It is Venus, Aphrodite, and Greek mythology, respectively. Look at that. Vistica Pisces, y'all. That is dealing with the great womb of creation. Okay? And then it show you how it's the definition in geometry. Let's see if we can find a symbol, shall we? Let's see images. Let's see. Right here's one of the main ones. Look at that right there. That's the Vistica Pisces right there. Here, and also right here. Look at that. All of this. Y'all saw these symbols before, probably. This is all connected to the primordial great mother herself. Okay? 10,000 names, 10,000 titles. This is something that's needed to be said and need to be spread out even more. I just want to show y'all that. That's one thing y'all are going to remember me for and know me for is the daggone what? Pisces. All of this is directly connected to the cosmic womb of creation. So for the women, or may I say for the womb men, you are aspects of the divine mother living and walking and having a human experience. And for the men, you are a masculine form of her living a masculine experience. Now, you've been separated from what they call your twin flame and even down to soulmate. So during the ancient times we had in Lemuria, I know you say, what you mean? Over here, which is a part of the remnants of Lemuria, we used to have a location where we would meet and remember who we were incarnate as coming through the womb and would meet our soulmate or twin flame, and we will practice the arcane arts. You say to yourself, what the hell is the arcane arts? Those that don't know what the arcane arts are. Excuse me, y'all. Apology. I kind of my phone moving a lot because I'm getting off my and coming back on here. All right. Let's type in, make another tab because I don't want to mess up everything I have posted right now. What is the arcane arts? Those that don't know, I'm going to show you. Bear with me. Look at this. You see how the way they look how they put in this text. Arcane arts refer to the study of practice of magic associated with wizards and mystical powers in fantasy-like settings like Dungeons and Dragons. Isn't that something? Remember, they made games and video games and board games dealing with the arcane arts. They used to call the location by a book by the guy named Paul Simon. The book is called the Legacy of the Black Gods. Legacy of the Black Gods by Paul Simon. Now, in that book, Legacy of the Black Gods by Paul Simon, he mentioned how the way we used to meet up with in this place called the Temple, or it's called the Mystery School of Poseidon. That's what it was called, the Mystery School of Poseidon. Right? We would meet there and learn the arcane arts. Learn the arcane arts, y'all. Okay? Now, that says all, so we're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. We would go ahead and master the arcane arts, and we will find our twin flame soulmate, or whatever the case may be. See? Just to confirm everything. That's what it's about. It was about magic the whole time, y'all. We've been doing this shit for eons. We've been doing stuff like this for eons. And see, look, as a wizard, you're most look at that. That's why I said it's about the practitioner of this. See, y'all spiritual warfare the whole goddamn time. And honestly, let's be honest right here. The real war that I've been telling y'all about, to sum it all up, it is the war between protecting Tiamat and the children, which are her chosen. Protecting Tiamat and the chosen. Also to protect those stargates. That's what it was all about the whole time. But need I say more? Because I'm just saying. Like, remember I showed y'all in other videos about different practices that I said how the way we used to wear, how we wear all white. Remember I said we used to wear all white in another live. Give me a second. Hopefully. And I told y'all about the dragons, how we have our own individual dragons. Thanks to Dr. Samuel B. Lee. Shout out to him. And the whole time they've been telling me that dragons were evil. But I just showed you how Mommy Water was called the Serpent Woman, too. And what do they call Leviathan or Tiamat? Just saying. Just let you think. But anyway, let me see if I can find what I was thinking about. What was I thinking about? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. This place of thought. Hold up. Can't. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna play the song, but I'm gonna show y'all the video again. And it's crazy because they blatantly put it on these videos, music videos, and nobody didn't catch it except for those that really know. They're like, oh, like hold up. So give me a second.
Now a local tax expert will do your taxes for $150 all in. No cap.
I ain't gonna play this. Listen, For entertainment purposes and educational purposes only, I'm showing y'all this real quick. Remember I told you about the wearing all white? You see that? Right, deals with purity, especially when you talk to our ancestors. This happens in Brazil. They gave an offering to Yemoja. They give an offering to Yemoja in Brazil. It happens. I forgot how many times. I think it happened like once a year. I'm not sure. I don't want to get out the false information. But this is what they do. They go to the ocean and give Yemoja offerings and so on. You see, they smoking cigars. See, that's an ancient practice, y'all. Our stuff. It's been passed down, and our ancestors been doing stuff like that, but they belittled. They pretty much called it even witchcraft. So, just wanted to let y'all know that's what's going on. I know I said zone. What's going on, and I want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all for watching, but I also want to give that information out because I'm being obedient. And not to mention, I'm also showing my love for the primordial mother. So on that note, I want to let you know, thank y'all for watching. Love, peace, light, darkness, supreme balance, which is the yin and yang, which is the divine feminine, masculine that brings forth supreme balance. It is your brother, Negadezo, also known as Green Light Cosmic Amplifier. I love the fact that y'all was watching, interacting. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day, whatever time zone you in. Thank you for watching.